ist noch der Priester.
There is something going on in this district.
Ja.
Excuse me, sir. Are you familiar with this part of town? Name's Clayton Darby, reporter.
Sorry, I'm new to Whitechapel. But perhaps you could help me since you're a journalist. My name is Jonathan Reed.
Dr. Reed, the famous surgeon. I'll gladly help if I'm able, sir.
Okay, der kennt mich also. Keine Zeitungberichte über die Epidemie, keine Angst, nachts vor die Tür zu gehen. Was tun Sie nach Sonnenuntergang hier? Alles berechtigte Fragen.
What is a journalist doing in this borough after sunset?
He goes where none of his colleagues would dare to go, to inform the country.
Okay. Sie riskieren ihr Leben für die Wahrheit. Interessiert sich das Volk dafür?
So you risk your life to reveal the truth. I saw many reporters do the same during the war.
Whitechapel is the crucible of so many untold stories and tragedies. I want people to know them.
Oh, okay.
That's quite honorable of you. But is the public interested?
Not at all, sir. And that's why I'm an independent journalist, hoping to sell some stories.
Why are the newspapers keeping silent about the Spanish influenza? It's as though none of you care.
There's a war going on. People shouldn't be demoralized by news of deadly diseases.
Das ist eine Schande, das ist kriminell. Es ist nur logisch.
It's a disgrace. People are left to die alone.
Ja.
No one is properly informed of the risks.
These are bad times indeed. So much for the glorious British Empire.
Ja.
Have you any idea of the danger you face in these streets at night?
I've had to run and hide more than once from frenzied mobs incensed by the fever. Do you think the flu is really responsible for this, Doctor?
Es gibt eine rationale Erklärung. Mein Rationalismus wurde erschüttert. Es ist nicht bloß eine Epidemie. Oh Gott, was soll ich denn darauf antworten? Ich mach mal das.
That science is unable to explain the facts doesn't mean there is no rational explanation.
I confess, I share your point of view, Doctor.
Ich wollte mir jetzt nicht zu viel verraten, weil kann ja sein, dass er ja irgendwie noch nachhakt und dann rausfindet, dass wir ein Vampir sind oder so.
Goodbye, Mr. Darby. Farewell.
Priester. Tag.
Forgive my interruption.
Do not apologize, my son. Father Tobias Whitaker is always happy to teach mortals about the incoming Armageddon.
I am Dr. Jonathan Reed, and I just have a few questions.
A scientist? You are much more lost than I thought, my son.
Bitte?
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences, and most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know? Blinded by science as I am.
But you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city. Answers about the hidden truth.
Ich glaube nur an Fakten. Ich höre. Ich will mal wissen, was er sagt.
Well, I suppose I can spare a few minutes listening to your so-called truth.
As a doctor, you must be aware of the decimating epidemic. But let me tell you that this so-called Spanish flu is just the beginning of the end.
What do you mean?
The beast is finally revealing itself, corrupting the flesh and the heart of men. With my own eyes I have seen them, those minions from the abyss.
Okay.
Really? And what would be your answer to this biblical threat?
We must fight the disease before this legion outnumbers us. But not with scalpels and microscopes. No.
What is left then?
Cleansing fire.
Oh Gott.
Tell me, Tobias, what exactly is your plan concerning the cleansing of this city?
God will recognize his own. More than once this city has risen from the ashes, hardened and purified by the flames.
Okay. Er will also die Stadt niederbrennen. Die Wissenschaft ist unsere einzige Hoffnung. Hier im 20. Jahrhundert ziehen sie die Grenze. Oh Gott. Ja.
Science and progress are our only hope against the monstrosity hidden behind this epidemic.
See, Doctor? Now you acknowledge the presence of evil within the city's walls. Now you start to admit the truth.
Es steht schlecht um mich.
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you
Ach
thought?
so.
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences.
Nein, ich kann das nicht
And
überspringen.
most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know? Blinded by science as I
Scheiße.
am.
But you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city. Answers about the hidden truth.
I am. But the answers I seek are based on facts, not superstition.
Komisch, dass es nicht ausgegraut ist.
Have you any friends? Any family left in these terrible times?
No. But I have a disciple I see as my son. He is so devoted. I send him to preach the good word in the heart of this corrupted city.
Okay.
Where did you send him?
I sent Samuel to the Stonebridge Cemetery, where the pestilence and evil grows night after night.
Okay.
You sent him on some preaching crusade during the epidemic.
As a true believer, Samuel will fear no evil while he walks through the valley of the shadow of death.
Ich mag den Priester nicht.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like the liberal ideas of nurses, but I especially abhor that Nurse Crane you mentioned.
Weshalb hassen Sie Schwester Dorothy? Sie mögen keine Krankenschwester.
Why do you hate Nurse Crane more than other nurses?
Before coming to London, she was a member of the communist resistance in her country. That's what happens when you let a woman get involved in politics.
Alter. Arschloch.
So you're not exactly a fan of Florence Nightingale's work. But nurses are essential for modern healthcare.
Nuns should be the only women allowed to take care of male patients. It's obvious only they have the necessary moral fiber.
Darf ich den hauen? Ich muss mich gerade echt zurückhalten, nicht böse zu spielen.
I have had enough for tonight. Goodbye.
Ja, ich rede nie wieder mit dir, Junge. Frauenfeindliches Arschloch. Entschuldigung. Was da lang?
Hello, young man. I'm Dr. Reed, and I would like to ask you a few questions. May I enter, please?
Sorry, no, sir. My father does not like people entering our house, you see.
Your father is worried about you, boy. He asked me to look for you.
So my father actually worries about me then? Okay then. Come on in. I'm Harry, by the way.
Okay. Das hätte ich jetzt nicht erwartet. Ich wollte einfach nur gucken, was ich machen kann. Kann ich stehlen? Geil, ich kann stehlen. Oh, Entschuldigung. Ich rede gleich mit dir, Junge. Ich muss erstmal gucken. Ich muss einmal looten. Ich bin der Loot-Jackie. Der Queen.
It's locked.
Schatz. Stillen erstmal alles.
Is there only pain and suffering in this world?
So, may I ask you a few questions?
I'm not bothered. What could be worse?
Okay.
How do you feel?
I'm fine. I mean, it's not easy every day, but I'm fine. I'm just tired of being sick all the time.
Okay, er ist
Fand ja
krank.
Gebiet
Muss ich gleich mal
tough,
gucken, was er hat.
Well, you know.
Speaking of which, what can you tell me about your father?
My father is an idiot who makes idiot things. That's all I have to say.
Ah, er hat Erschöpfung. Okay, wir heilen ihn gleich.
Forgive my bluntness, young man, but you don't seem happy living in Whitechapel.
Why should I? I never wanted to come here in the first place. It was my father's decision. And look around you. Does this look like a nice place to live?
Die Lage könnte schlechter sein. Dein Vater hat sein Bestes getan. Du hast ein Zuhause. Das haben
You
manche
have a
nicht.
roof over your head, a place to call home. Many people here are not as lucky, you know.
That's exactly what my father says. Harry, you should be grateful for what you've got. I wasn't even consulted when we moved here.
If life here is so terrible for you, why don't you just leave this place? Have you ever spoken to your father about it?
I don't go outside. It terrifies me so. I went outside once without my father noticing and I saw terrible things. Bloody, frightening things.
So that's why you stay at home all day? For fear of the epidemic?
I'm not afraid of disease or death, Dr. Reed. It's the living I'm afraid of.
Okay, er hat, glaube ich, Agoraphobie. War das? Ja, ich glaube, Agoraphobie hieß das, dass man eben halt nicht rausgeht.
Your father and Mr. Lewis used to be good friends. What happened, Harry?
I was young then. I don't remember Mr. Lewis ever coming back again after my mother died. Or was it after my father started bullying him? I don't know.
Have you tried speaking to Mr. Lewis about it?
I don't go out often, but yes. And he scolded me and told me to leave him alone. I guess my father frightens him too much.
But you are not responsible for your father's actions.
Am I not? Dad always says that he joined that gang for my safety. So if I wasn't born, people wouldn't be worrying about Colossus Joe.
Oh, mach dich doch nicht selber so fertig, Junge.
Do you need any medical help, young man?
Yes, I do. I feel so tired. I don't know if it's the epidemic, but everything seems so hard.
You'll feel better with this. But you need to get a grip, young man. Medication alone won't cure melancholia.
I'm not sure I'm happy with the idea of living long in a world like this. But I thank you for your concern, sir.
Ja.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
Yes, I know her. She came here to examine me when I was very sick. She said I should go out more.
Goodbye, young man.
Pass auf dich auf.
Take care of yourself.